Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Where the others now? Oyin, how are you? Marvelous. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm fine, sir.
Afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. I think that we can start now. Maybe others will join along the way.
All right, okay, that's fine.
Thank you, sir.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Where did we stop last week? Where did we stop last week?
We looked at assigning variables, then we tried to create a sort of a password and username thing.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen now, right? Okay. So we have started by looking at the basics in Python, right? So we have seen numbers, isn't it? We have seen under the numbers, we have seen integers, floats. Now under strings, we have looked at, so whenever we are entering a string, right? So normally what we do is that for strings, we usually put them in quotation mark, isn't it? So for example, we say name equal to Francis. This is what we normally do, isn't it? Or you can say name equal to, either use single quotation mark, right? But sometimes when you want to enter text, right, or strings, let me see. If you want to enter strings, let me see, you have a long text. Let's say you have a long text that you want to enter, right? So normally when you are entering a string where the text is quite lengthy, you would use, so normally we just use double quotation mark, but now you are going to put them in triple quotation like this. Can you see that? Then put the text. So I can say A is equal to, so whenever you are entering a long text, right? So this is how you normally would do it. Okay. So if I run A, so can you see that now? So whenever is a long text, right? So you put it in like triple quotation mark. You will get that?
Yes.
So anytime you're entering a very long text, so you put it in triple quotation mark, isn't it? So that way, for example, again, you can also do that, or you can, instead of putting, you just say print A, and you see that. Okay. Now, when we are also dealing with strings, you also have what they call string methods. String methods. Okay. String methods. So under your string method, so for example, when they say string method, right? So if you see, for example, if I say name, have I run name? Okay, yes, I run name. Okay, so name, Francis, isn't it? So when you say a string method, so sometimes you may want to capitalize, you know, you want to capitalize it. You want to make it a proper case. You want to make it lower case. You want to split. right? So those are what they refer to as what? String methods. They are called what? String methods. String methods. Okay, they are called string methods. So for example, I can say, okay, let me make it name. Let me make it lowercase so that we can see that name. All right. So if I run name, isn't it? So let me delete this one first.
The second one is still Francis, still capital.
No. So let me delete this one so that I just run it alone. So name, right? So name, run it. Okay, so you see it's lowercase now, isn't it? Hope you can see my screen properly. So you see it's lowercase, right?
Yes.
So if I want to now make it capital letter, right? So you know in Excel, how do you make a column capital letter? You want to make the column, you want to make a particular word a capital letter. How do you do it in Excel? You want to make the word a capital letter. How do you do it in Excel? There's a function in Excel that to capitalize or to make it uppercase or lowercase. What's the function in Excel?
I think it's
Proper.
Upper, right? Upper, isn't it? So the same way I have name dot upper. Can you see that? Name dot upper. Okay. So which means if I just put it this way, it means it's not inside any variable now, is it not? So it means I can assign it to a particular variable. Let me see, let me call it n equal to. So it means when I call n, I will see what now? Can you see that? Now this n already is capitalized, you know. So if I want to make it lowercase, what do I do? You want to make it lowercase, what will you do?
Lower.
N dot lower. Can you see that? So you see, it's just a bit like Excel. The same way you think about it. Now, if you want to now make this your n, I want to make it in a proper form, right? In Excel, it will be proper now, is it not? But here, as you call it, I think it's either title. Let me see. This is N, right? So Francis. So I think there are two ways of doing it. Let me see. Title. So guys, the title can make it a proper case, or you use, I think, capitalize. Yes, capitalize. So either you use title or capitalize to what? To do that. Have we got this now? Because you know why you need this sometimes. You know why you need to do this sometimes. Because if a particular word you are looking for, Excel, Python is extremely case sensitive. Is it not? It's extremely case sensitive. So if one is capitalized and one is uppercase, you may need to convert all of them to lowercase, right? So that's why you need to know how to change it to either uppercase, lowercase. So it means if I want to turn all this text now to lowercase, what do I do? I want to turn all this text here into lowercase. What will I do now?
A dot lower.
A dot lower, right? But okay, let's say A dot lower. Can you see that now? So everything is inside now is what? Lowercase. Especially when you are going to be doing things like, do you notice can you see slash somewhere? Can you see slash? Can you
Yes.
see something like this slash A? Can you see that within the text?
No.
You can see it here. You can see it here. You know what it means? Do you know what it means? A new
Line
line.
breaks.
Yes, line break. Yes, line break. So for those who say, where this thing come from? Okay, so that's for that. Now another thing again. Let's say we have. Okay, let's say A equals to hello world, right? Hello world. Okay, good. Now, how many texts do we have here? How many texts do we have here? Or characters do we have? How many characters do we have?
12.
12. So how did we count it? So
Uh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you count the space?
no.
Okay. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I counted the open and close.
Okay. No, that's, this already is by default how you write strings.
A string. Yes, that's true.
You get. So it's actually the content you're looking at. Do you get? So let's say how many characters. Now we are talking about this thing here. So please take note. So if I want to check, okay, how many characters? So I can say length of A. Can you see that? Length of A. So how did they count it?
Counted
1,
the space.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Can you see that? So a space is the character. If I increase this by 1, what does that mean? If I increase it by 1, what does it mean now?
It's 12.
It's going to be what? 12 now, isn't it?
Yes.
It's going to be what? 12. That's why a space is also what? A character. Okay? A space is also what? A character. Right? I think, let me see, I think you even have a dot strip. Let me see that this a dot strip. Okay. But did you take that space away? Okay, maybe I'll command. When I get to start cleaning, I'll come to those ones first. So just take note that whenever you have a space, right? A space is also what? A character. Okay, a space is also what? A character. Right? So why is this important? Because whenever you want to maybe extract certain data, right, and there is a space there, you have to always put the space, right? And most time, I think how do you put space? You have to put it something like this. Can you see that? So that we see as what a space, or if I put it to that means this is double space. 1, 2. This is double space. Okay, this is single space. So a space there will also be seen as a white character. We call it a white character. All right. Now, if I want to extract just this first word, right? Now, another thing again, we should remember that Python works with index, and it starts from index what? Usually starts with index what?
0.
0, index 0, now, isn't it? So when you are counting it, it will start from here. This here should be what? 1, is it not? So it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it not? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So even if there were 11 characters or 12 characters, right? -1, because it starts with what? Index 0. But if you are dealing with R starts with index 1. So you need to know how they read them. Okay. So which means if I want to read this first one, I'll say A0. What do I need to see? What will I see in A0?
H.
H, is it not? So 0 means what? This 0 means what?
First character.
the index, like the index, so index 0, so this variable a, the first index is what? The first index, which is 0, is what? Your h.
H.
Can you see that? Now, if you look at, now I remove that space. Now, this last word, this last D now, which character is it?
11.
11, right? 11, isn't it? Another way again we can also do it is to also use the what they call negative indexing, right? So in that case, I can have a minus 1. You see minus 1 gives you what? The last. You see that I can do this or do this. Now, if I can do this, if I can count it, but if I cannot count it, then I'll have to use minus 1, negative indexing. Is this clear? Is this clear now?
Yes.
Have we got this now? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
So they are called negative indexing. Okay. So if I say A4, what will it give me now? What will this give me?
There.
Oh,
Oh.
It will give me what? O, is it
O.
not? It will give me what? O. Now, if you see this word hello, now I have seen this word. I want to extract hello from it. Is it not? So it means this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4 or 5? Index 0,
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't it?
Yes.
So it means from index 0 to index what?
4.
4. Okay. Now watch what it's doing now. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So if I have a 0 to 4, 0 to 4. 0 to 4. Can you see what it's doing? So it means it's counting what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So it
What?
means for that hello to show, what will I now use?
5.
5. So remember I told you that if you the n minus 1 there, whatever you do, minus 1 there. So if I wanted the hello now, it will be what? 5. Can you see that? If, for example, I wanted maybe from hello and beyond, I want from hello and beyond. So what will I use?
5 to 12.
5 to
12.
okay, I said 5 to 12, right? And how many characters do we have there?
11.
11. So if I say 5 to 12 now, like this, right? Can you see what that's done?
Yes. Give it
Now,
space.
if I have done, let's say 5 to 13, can you see that? So that's why another way of just doing it is just 5 to the end. Can you see that?
So I believe
Including that space, I would have just used maybe 6, is it not?
yes.
Then that space will go. Let me go 6, 6 there. How many characters did I put there? Okay. Let me see. 7. Okay. So that's it. So you can also select a range that you want to see, right? You want to see a range. So if I say 4 to 11, what will it give me now? 4 to 11, what will it give me? 4 to 11, what will it give me?
I think whole world.
Oh, whoa. Okay, oh, whoa. Okay, good. So that's about, so they call this slide, you can call it slicing. Because I want to, when we get to list, this is what we are going to be working with, your list. Now, so if I run a, okay, this one you see it still has double spacing here, right? It has double spacing. So most time, I think, let me say strip think strip. Did you remove them?
No.
Strip. Let me see. Which other way can we remove strings again? Spaces. So there are different methods, right? So you have strip, split. I can't remember the other ones. As we go on, I will try and remember them. I will try and remember them. Okay. Another thing again, yeah. So normally, right? When you are, so let's say for so we have A like this, right? So we have a is O world, right? So if I say A dot length, so what's the length of it? So length of A, what is it? It says 12, isn't it? So 12 implies that what? It is counting the characters, isn't it?
Yes.
It's counting the characters. Okay, good. Now, assuming I wanted to replace this H to yellow, that's like saying yellow wall, that's Y. I want to replace it with Y, right? So sometimes you can have A dot replace. What am I replacing? I want to replace H with what? Replace it with what? Y.
What?
Can you see that? Yellow walls. Okay. So these are what they call your string methods. Your string. There are so many, right? There are so many. So, but this is just the basics of most of them, right? But as you keep practicing, you see quite a lot of them. You see quite a lot of them. Let's say another one we have. Let's say we have. Okay, let me go to string formats. Let me explain formats. You see, if I have, let's say I have a number. Let's say number 50. Then I say name. Let's say IJ. Say name IJ. You know, good. So I've run it like this now. So I want to say, normally I would have said print IJ is 50 years old. You know you can run it like this, but assuming I want to change this 50s, it means I have to be writing this one every time, either the name or IJ. I have to be changing it every time myself, isn't it? Because I have to be changing it inside the output here. Okay. So I want a situation where I will change it in the variable, but yet it will affect my output here. Okay. So in that case, what I would have done is say print what now? What would I say print? I say print
Name
what?
dot replace. Name dot replace.
Now, but I will not use replace because I don't want to always change it. I just want to show every time IJ is 50 years old, right? IJ is 50 years old. Okay. So I can say, what else can we do now?
The way we did last week was with input.
Is that what?
The way we did last week was with inputs.
Okay, inputs, right? Now I don't want to use inputs. Now there's another method I want us to use. I want to use formats. I want us to use format. So let's say, for example, let's look at this. Okay, my name is. Can you see that? My name is. Right. So my name is. I'll put curly bracket there, isn't it? So whatever name you want to put there. And I am what now? I'll put this thing here now, isn't it? Let me say years old. When we say years old there, years old. Okay. dot. Now I'll use format. So what is the variables now? The first one is what? Name. And the second one is what? Number. All right, name, number. That close the bracket. So my name is what? IG, and I am 50 years old. So it means that if every time I want to now change this one now, I just come here, 15, run it, and run it again. Can you see that? Yesterday, I think last week we were showing how you use input, is it not? But this is also another way again. You can also what? Use it. Did we get this format? So this is another one for text. It's called format. So where you can now be putting the variables inside it, and we'll be changing it. So that's the format. It's called format. It's called format. All right. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Good. Now it's just the way we have number, right? Just the same way we have number. If I have put maybe in quotation mark now, right? If I put in quotation mark, so let me run that. You see, still running the same way, is it not? You did not even notice any difference. Is it not? You don't notice any difference, right? But you know, if you were to now extract it, it may not necessarily always see it as, because if I have number now and I want to check if that is a text, I will say A dot is numeric. What does that tell you?
If it's or not.
Is it a number?
Yes.
And it says false. Is it correct? Is it correct that I gave you false?
Yes, correct.
Is that it says false, is it not?
Yes, correct.
Or I can say A dot is, I think, digits. I think that's another way again too. So either it's numeric or it's digit. Isn't it? So
Sorry,
that
sir.
would tell, yeah,
Can you explain the A dot numeric again?
it's numeric, right? So numeric, what does numeric mean?
Number.
Number. So what is asking? This, where's okay, let's say number here. Let's use this number. So let's say it's number. So this number, what is this number here?
15.
15. But actually, it's not a number itself, but it's what? A text. So that's why I say number dot is this variable number. Is it a number? So is it numeric? It says true. Can you see that? It says true, but let's see again. Why is it seems like that? So because it's seen a number there, right? It's numeric. But let's see another way. Because if I had run A before, our A was what? A was hello, false, isn't it? So that one was telling us false, 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 false. If I say is number, okay, let's say number dot is digit. Is digit, right? Is digit. Right? So I want to check, is it a digit there? Say true. You can see a number in it. But the challenge is that if you go and extract that number and you have it in quotation mark, you know it's a different thing already. But can I see a number there? Can you see a number there? Can you see a number there?
Yes.
If the answer is yes, then it tell you true. But if you cannot see a number there, it will tell you what? False. Just like, for example, even that your, Okay, even like this where we have hello world, right? So even this A, so we have A is what? Hello world. So do we have spaces here? So you want to check, is there any space there? Is there any space? I think you have is, I can't remember this. I think is space or so. Let me try dot is space. No, it's not space. So let me see the word. Is space. Let me see.
What does the space mean?
Is there a space? Aha, is there a space? Okay. Is space. Right, is space. Good. Now you see, naturally, whenever you use a white space, right? Remember, it's always going to see it as a character.
Yeah.
It's always going to see it as what? A character. So for example, if I have, how many characters do I have? 1, 2, right? If I say dot is space, can I see this space there? It's saying yes, I can see it. That's why it's telling you true. So remember the Boolean true, false, true, false. So it's just testing. It's just testing. So, but sometimes again, why you need to do this, especially when you are going to be dealing with regular expressions, because you know, as analysts, most times the data is usually unstructured, right? So this where Python now becomes very powerful for you, because sometimes when your data is very unstructured, for example, you get comments from customers, maybe from your social media page, is it not? They will all be in text, but there are certain data you want to extract from it. Most time they are unstructured. So what you want to do is to move it from that unstructured format to the structured format, right? So that's why most time we will try and be checking, is there a space there? Is there a number there? Okay. So those are the things that you try to do with it. Okay, those are the things you try to do with it. Even for example, let's say we have let me say B equal to, let me say IJ is a good boy. Now IJ is a good boy, is it not? Now you don't notice that I have made a mistake somewhere here, isn't it? I've made a mistake somewhere here, is it not? Now it means that here at this point now, how will I get this 8? How will I get this 8? If you want to get that 8, how will I get it?
B does replace.
I want to get just that 8. I want to get the 8 now.
Oh, B.
B does replace.
But you want that replacement. I don't want to replace it. I just want to get that 8 now. At what point is that 8 now?
13.
13, is it not?
Yes.
13. So that's the 8, is it not? So I've now known exactly where it is. So anytime I see this 8 like this 13 now, if I put equal to G, will it work like this?
No.
What did he tell you?
String
String
object
does not support
Item
that
insert.
assignment, right? So that's why you see, you may not be able to just do it this way, right? So rather, what will you now use? You will now use that your what? Replace, is it not? So replace what? 8, replace it with what?
D.
Is it not? So IJ is a good boy. Because why we are doing like this, when we get to list, we'll now see where it's a bit different. Because when it gets to list, this will work. For a list, this will work. But when you are just dealing with your characters, it will not work. You will not have to use what? The string methods, right? Now, another one again is that, for example, you have maybe like you have email, right? You have, let's say, email, okay, and you say equals to email now. So let's put our emails, okay, let's put it like this, o.ij, o.ij at lbs.edu.ng. We have another one, f, maybe we have another one, f, let's say f, at, let's say at what now? Let's say at gmail.com. Let's say we have Moses Chinoye at yahoo.com. I think we see we have different this thing there, right? We have different email addresses, right? So we have LBS, we have Gmail, we have what? Yahoo. Okay. So most times you see there's something that is separating the username and the domain name, is it not? Which is your at. So that at is called what? That at is referred to as what? Like a delimiter, right? It's what we call what? A delimiter. What is using to separate them is what? A delimiter. So that email, sometimes you may want to separate it and say, okay, split. What do I want to split it at? I want to separate it at what? The at. Can you see what that's done? Do you see what it did? It was separating all of them. So if you remove all those where you have the at, to remove all of them. So you want to split it at the what at, right? So the same way, let me see, that's what we had, was it here? I can't remember. Yes, hello world, right? So this hello world, I don't know how many characters are here now. Was it 2? So if I say a dot split 1, 2. Now, do you see what it did? Do you see what it has done? It will just separate them for you, right? And now put them like inside a list. Can you see that? So it means I can now come here and put here equal to, let's say, names. Right? So if I come here and say names, so if I want to check what's the data type for this, what's the data type? So I'll say type names. So it's telling me that is what? A list. Is it not? It's telling me that is what? A list. So you see what that's done? So it will separate those your strings into what? A list. But you split it at that what? Delimiter. Where you have the what? Delimiter. So that's where your split now comes in. So you just mean you want to what? Separate. You know, like for example, you have in Excel, you know, split text to column.
Yes.
So this is exactly what you are doing in your Excel, text to column. So you just separate those words for you. So in Excel, you are separating a column, but here, if you separate it into what? A list. It will separate it into a list. You separate it into a list. Now there's another one again, but I don't know. Let me see that. I think that one is called strip, but that strip, I don't know if it will work. So let's say strip what now? Strip normally should try and remove the character, but I can't see whether it has removed all of them yet. So if I say a dot strip, normally our length of a is what? Is 12, is it not? So 12 means that I should have 2 characters here, right?
Yes.
I should have 2 characters there. Okay. So if I say B is equals to A dot strip, right? So what is length of A with the same 12? Is the same 12. Is the same 12. I'm trying to look for another method that I can also use. Although there are different methods though to remove them. If I remember, I'll let you know the methods, the different methods to help you remove. Because most time actually, as data analyst, you will not be working with characters at this stage like this. Most time they will be in tables. They will be in tables you'll be working with. But it's okay. It's also important we also know some of these things so that in case we see them in sentences, right, or in a particular list, we know how to deal with them. Okay. If we remember again that we talked about in strings, most times you see that single quotation mark, double quotation mark, is it not? But if I want to separate them in new lines, most time you put in a new line, what will it be? It will be /n, is it not? This is like say new line, isn't it?
Yes.
So for example, if I say, let's say, let me say C, let me just say, okay, print, let me say print hello. Let's say hello. Are you joining us in class today? Isn't it? We are waiting. All right. So you see, what does this? Okay. What's the error here?
Unterminted string.
So what does that mean?
There's no, we didn't close the.
You did not close
Close
it.
the quotation.
Yes, you did close it. Okay, good. Now you see, hello, are you joining us in class today? We are waiting, is it not? So if I want to put them in different lines, I want to put them in different lines, right? So this one, I want hello to be in one line. Can you see that? I want, are you joining us in class today? Another line. Right? We are waiting, isn't it? So let's run it and check. So can you see what has done? Do you see that?
Yes.
Good. Now, again, there's also another thing we call raw strings. Raw strings. So let's say, for example, hello, whoa. Now, what did he do? What did he do here?
Just printed the same hello world.
He just created the same hello world, right? Okay. Now, if I have something like this, where is it? Okay, let me remove that one. Let me remove that one first. I wanted to explain something there. When we get to pandas, at certain time, you know how you have your, what do you call it? You know, when you look at your directory, you know, for example, in your directory, you have something like this, maybe C backslash. You have C backslash, maybe username, is it not your user backslash, maybe your desktop. You know what this is happening? You know what's happening? Then you want to extract a particular Excel file, maybe let's say data.csv. You know what this is, right? Do you know what this means?
Yeah. Directory.
Like your directory, exactly like your directory, right? Like your directory. So most time, whenever we have this, normally we are going to use R, like read the raw string. Can you see what it's doing for you? like read the raw string. So anytime you are going to use that directory, most time to read it, for Python to read it, you have to use this word raw string R. Right now, it will not make so much sense, but when we get to pandas, that's when you see when it will work. Because if you want to extract, copy that file where you want it to locate for you, you have to tell it, read this raw string. Okay, you have to tell it, read the raw string. And this is how it normally will read it. Okay, so when we get to that point, but it's important to just take note of this raw string, because without this, if you do not go and create maybe a working directory, or you do not open your Jupyter notebook from the folder, you cannot read that file. So normally when you use the raw string, when you copy that path, you have to use the word raw string to work with it. Okay. When we get to pandas, I will explain this, but take note of this. So that anytime I want to read it, I will have to use what raw string, like read it for me. Okay. So I think that is, so have we got the point for these characters now? So let me just so let's apply that inside a list now, because it's mostly list you'll be working with. It's from that list we'll now convert later into tables. So we'll convert them later into what? Tables. So let me just quickly get to, okay, so let's say we have maybe, okay, we have countries. Let's say we have countries. Let's put it in a list now. Let's say we have what? Nigeria. Let's switch other country again. Nigeria.
Germany.
So you have Nigeria, you have
Ghana.
Germany, you have Canada, you have, which other one again?
Niger.
Tunisia. That's spelling of Tunisia.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tunisia. Okay, so let's say these are the countries, right? These are the countries that we have. You remember what we did? We tried to pick the country. So let's say I want to pick Germany. How will I pick Germany now? I want to select Germany from this list. I want to select Germany from this list.
Countries 1.
Countries what?
1.
Is it not? If I want to pick Nigeria, what will it be?
Country 0.
If I want to pick Tunisia, what will it be?
Country 3.
3.
3.
Or minus 1.
Or
Or
what?
minus 1.
Minus
Or
1.
minus 1. Did we get that now? Do we get that? So this is called slicing. It means I want to slice it, right? I want to slice it. Okay. Have we got that? Now let's say I want to add another country to it. I want to add another country to it, right? I want to add another country to it. So let's say countries. Let's say I want to add, which country should we add to it now?
Spain. Spain.
Spain. So for Spain, I will now say append Spain, right? So if I want to see what has happened, I can just say print countries. Can you see Spain has been added? Okay, how many times did I add it? Okay, but I ran it twice. So it means that last one, if I want to remove that last one, what do I do now? I'll say countries dot pop. So that means I have removed Spain, right? I have removed Spain. But is it permanent? So let's check. So if I run countries, guys, it has removed it, right? So pop means what? What does pop mean?
Let's remove.
Remove the last. This is that pop means what? Remove what? The last. Append means what? Add to the last, exactly. Add to the last. Pop means, but if I want to add, maybe let's say I want to add it to maybe the beginning. Let's see another country. Which other country do you want us to add? Which other country do you want us to add?
Let's add Niger.
Yeah?
Niger.
Okay, we want to add Niger. Now I want to put it before Nigeria, right? So I want to put it to the first, right? I want it to be the first. So what do I do? The countries dot what? Insert. Where do I want to insert it? Where do I want to insert it?
0.
0. What am I adding? Niger. All right, so let's run countries. Can you see that now? So you see why indexing is very important, so that you know exactly where it is. Is this clear? Do we get this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Get it? Okay, good. Good. Now, if, for example, I want to now remove a specific one, I want to remove a specific one. Let's say I want to remove, which one do I want to remove now? Which one should we remove from here?
Germany.
You want to remove Germany, right? You want to remove Germany. Okay, you want to remove Germany. Okay. So it will be what? Countries dot what? Remove. What am I removing? Germany. You see how Python is like almost like English language? Because most of the words, what you say is exactly what it's doing for you. Right? Remove Germany. Now, which other one do you want us to remove?
Spain.
Spain. So I want to remove Spain now, right? So it will be what? Countries. Now, you know what we have done before? We say countries dot remove, isn't it? Now, but another way we can do it, we can say delete. Delete countries. Now, where is Spain? Which index is Spain?
2.
Spain is what?
Yeah, 4.
Not minus
Four.
Or
1.
minus 1.
Or minus 1, is it not? So I'll say countries. Can you see that? If I have used minus 1 now, what will happen now? If I use minus 1 now, what will happen? What will it delete now?
Delete Tunisia.
You will
Spain.
delete what?
Spain.
Tunisia, right?
Yeah, now it's delete Tunisia.
You will delete Tunisia, exactly. So either I can use what? Delete once I know the exact name, or I can use the index number. I hope this is clear. So if you want to delete by the specific index number, I can use that delete. But if I know it is the last, either I can use what? Pop, or I use delete minus 1. Clear? Is this clear? Are we clear with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
See, we are building it gradually. We are building all of them gradually. Later we'll come and what? Apply everything, right? Because remember, we are learning this as data analyst. You know, as data analyst in your Excel, don't you delete, don't you remove, don't you replace?
Yes.
Exactly. So that is the same thing that we are learning here. Okay, that is the same thing we are learning here. Because this is not Excel, so you cannot really see you cannot see a proper table. Do you get? Because now we are dealing with the Python basics first, right? Before we go into other libraries. But for now, let's just understand how Python works. Okay. So let's say we have numbers. Let's say we have numbers. Right? So numbers, let's say we have 1, 5, 8, 2, 11, 100, 89, let's say 20. Okay, let's 29. So these are numbers, isn't it? Now these numbers, are they arranged? Are they arranged?
No.
They are not arranged. But you know that these numbers, which data structure ensures that the data will be arranged properly? If I use a set, what will happen? If I put it in form of a set, what will happen?
You would order it.
It will order it. Is it not? So if I come here to numbers, can you see that it will be ordered?
Yes.
So by default, your set normally will order it and there should be no replication, is it not, or duplicate?
Yeah.
But you know, for a list, it can allow you to put it in an ordered form, isn't it?
Yes.
So assuming it's already a list, assuming it's already in a list like this, right? It's already in a list. So let's say numbers. So we want to now arrange it in ascending order, right? We want to arrange it in ascending order. Okay. So what do we now do? So we can say numbers dot sort. Is it not what you normally would do in Excel? Is it not what you normally do in Excel?
It is.
If I say
Yes.
numbers, can you see that now? It will sort it. But assuming you want it in, when you are sorting, every software by default is in ascending order. Is it not? By default, it's in ascending order. Is it not true?
Yes.
By
Yes, sir.
default, ascending order, is it not? So if I want to put in descending order, what do? I'll say reverse equal to true. Now watch how true is spelled to is capital letter T. If I go and use small letter T, problem. So let's check. So can you see that? So reverse it, true. But if I say reverse false, what does that mean? Reverse false, what does that mean?
And ascending order.
You
The
should leave it
ascending
as
order.
ascending order.
Which is the default? Which is the default? Do you get? That's the default. Okay. So to reverse, would I use what? To say true. If I had gone to use small letter T, can you see that the name true is not defined? Can you see that it is extremely sensitive? So that's why I told you, you take note of these things. All right. So we are clear with this now, is it not? Huh? Somebody asking us anything? All right. Okay. Sometimes you want to let me say we want to give a code, right? I want to tell you, I want to send you a code. I say I am in class. I am in class, right? So I want to send you a code to tell you that I am in class. But it's only me and you that will know that you are in class, right? So you know how we can. So let us try and see if we can reverse it and see if it will make any sense for us. I want to send you a code that I am in class, right? So I can say, let's say code. Now I want to start. What does -1 mean?
It means
What does
the
-1 mean?
last character.
The last character, is it not? Last
Yes.
character. Good. What does colon mean
Everything.
everything, is it not? Everything, is it not? Good. I hope you are following though. So if I now put -1, -1, what is this one doing now? What is this doing? It's called what? A reverse string. Can you see that? It's called what?
Okay.
A reverse string. So I can send you this as a code. Do you see that? So if I now have maybe a long text, where do we have a long? You see this long text now that we have it. This was in A, right? Okay, let me copy it now. So it means if I have something like this, let me say A. If I say A -1, what should it show me? An empty distance, isn't it? So let me check now. Can you see what that's done? Can you see this?
Yes.
That's reversed everything. So sometimes when they want to send coded messages, right? This is what they will do. So look at, so you, if you join them this and it doesn't make any sense, right? If you read this, if they send it as a text message to you, will it make any sense to you? When you
No.
read someone's text message as this, will it make any sense? It will just be like they don't know what they are writing, is it not? So if I copy it now, let's say I copy that text now and I put it inside, let's say the code. Let's say the code this, right? Let's say the code that. Okay. So if I was to decode it, I would say what? Decode what? -1, -1. As if everything come back to normal now. Has it come back to normal?
Yes.
Yes, so I've now decoded it. Okay, so sometimes that's one use case of when you want to just hide certain messages or write inside this. So that's how they will do it. Okay, I hope this is clear now, right? I hope this is clear.
Yes.
Good,
Yes, sir.
good. So what we have been doing, so in your normal list, just like you have your numbers. So let's say maybe I call it G equals to, maybe I'll put okay, let me put Francis. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do that. So if I want to extract the numbers, I want to extract only the numbers. Now, what do? I want to extract only the numbers. I want to extract only the numbers. What will I do now? I want to extract only the numbers. I want to extract only the numbers.
You can use the range they fall into.
Yeah.
So from one
Okay.
to
1 to. Now, in case you don't know whether it's
to
1 to
5.
whatever, it's just 1 to the end now.
-1. Oh yeah, 1 to the end. Yes.
So this
on
one is the same
everything.
thing as 1 to the end. Now, if you don't know what it, but you
Yes.
will know 1 to the end is 1 to the end, is it not?
Yes.
Good. So it means if I say numbers, can you see that? It has given me the numbers itself. If I want only the text, so what have we done? From that list, we have extracted to put in a particular variable. Is it not? So let's say we now have texts. Is it not? I want to extract the text. So which one is the text here?
Francis.
Francis. So Francis, how do you extract Francis now?
Just 0.
0.
Yeah, 0.
So can you see what we have done here now? So we have extracted text to where? So if I say print, let's say numbers and text. Can you see what I've done?
Yes.
Now there are two separate variables now. Is it not? There are two separate, but this was the original. So most time when you are getting your data, there are some data you may require. You just want to put in a variable. Okay, this way I want to use them. Is it not? So I can separate them. But I still have the original there. Okay. So as you are working, sometimes you want to what? Put them in what? Different what variables. So I can always go back to whatever one I need. Okay. So now I have my numbers. So if I come here, I say numbers plus numbers. What will happen? Numbers plus numbers. What will happen? It will duplicate that list for you.
Twice.
Is it not? It will duplicate it twice for you. If I say text plus text, what will it give me?
Duplicate of text.
It duplicates whatever the content is there, right? You can duplicate that content for you. Okay. So remember, your list is not is usually it starts with the index. It starts with index what 0, is it not? The first element of your list is usually what index what 0. The last element is what -1, isn't it? The last element is what minus what 1. Okay. Because remember again that whenever you are trying to slice, it means like I want to extract. Is it not? I want to what? Extract. I want to what? Extract. Okay, I want to what? Extract. So the same way, let's say for example, okay, let's say D. So D has Francis, is it not? D has Francis 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. D has Francis, right? Now, if I say what is D0?
Francis.
D0 means what?
Francis.
Okay, and I say D0 IJ. What is this one do? What is it doing?
You're changing Francis to IG.
I'm changing what? Francis to
to
what? IJ. But remember, when it was just a string, is it not? We cannot just change it like this. In that case, we would have used what? Replace. Do you see the difference now? So when you're working with normal characters, you would have used the string method, replace. But for a list, you can change it like this. So I can assign like this. Okay? I can what? Assign like this. So if I say delete D0, what does this mean?
Delete IG.
Delete what?
IG.
IJ. Delete what? IJ. So can you see how list works now? Can you see how a list works now?
Yes.
Good. So that's how what a list works. Okay. So I think we should be okay with list for now, right? So with list, we have seen some strings. We have seen how to work with the list now, right? So how to remove, is it not how to add, is it not how to append, to insert, to slice, right? So is this clear now? Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good. Good. Now, if for example, now we have extracted only the numbers, now is it not? We have extracted only the numbers. So you see D only has numbers, is it not? So if I now check what's the type? What's the type for D? It's telling us in a list, is it not? It's telling us in a list, right? So it means in a list, I should also what? I can also apply some what? Arithmetic operations on it for a list, is it not? For example, I can check. So if I say sum of D, what does that mean? Sum of D, what does it mean? Sum of D, what is that? Sum of D, what is it doing? What did he do
Added up
for
all
us?
the numbers.
He added up all the numbers here, is it not? All the numbers here. If you remember this, where we had, okay, let me call this one E. Let me call this E. Is it not? Let me call it E. If I say sum of E, what's the problem? What's the problem here?
So the string inside E.
There's a string inside, is it not? You cannot add a string and what? You cannot add a string. Even if I have, for example, let's say I have here 10. Is it not? And I run this. What do you think will happen? What will happen here? The same what error, is it not? The same what error. Is it not? It will be the same what error. Okay. So that's why sometimes you need to only extract the values before you can start carrying out any what arithmetic what operations. Remember, we said what differentiates your qualitative from quantitative data? What differentiates it? What differentiates your qualitative from quantitative data? Yes? What differentiates your qualitative from quantitative data?
And do arithmetic operations.
Yes. But for qualitative,
Qualitative, you
Just
cannot
count. You just
you
go
can only
from
do a count. So if I want to count here now, I can just do length of E. Can you see that? Length of E. I can do a count there, but I cannot add up. Do we get this now? Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it means I can add up. So for example, if I want to get the maximum value, what's the maximum value of D? What's the maximum value?
6.
6, is it not? What's the minimum value? What's the minimum value?
1.
1, is it not? What is the average? So is there anything like average now? So if you say average of it, mean of D, what will it be? There's nothing like what? Average. Can you see that? If I now say, okay, let me spell average in full, there's nothing like average. Do you see that? There's nothing like what? Average there. So you say mean not defined. So what do we now do? Since there's no average here, so how do you calculate average normally? How do you calculate average normally?
The sum of the numbers
It's
divided by the count.
some of them.
The sum of the numbers divided by what?
The count.
The count, you know. So let's look at it now. So if you do what now? 1 plus 2 will give us what? 1 plus 2 will give us what?
3.
Plus 3 give us what?
5.
6.
6 rather.
6 plus 4 will give us what?
10.
10 plus 6 will give us what?
16.
That's the 16 here. Divided by what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what would that now give us?
3.2.
So 16 divided by what? 5, is it not? We give us what?
Yes.
3.2 like this, is it not?
Yes.
So which means if we were to calculate it, what did we do? It was sum of what? D
D.
divided by what?
Count of
Length
D.
what?
Line
Oh, length.
line
Sorry.
of D.
Length D.
Can you see that now? 3.2. So that means that if there are no defined functions, is it not? You need to use the formula. You need to create your own formula that used to do that computation. Do we see it now?
Yes.
Clear? Good. So we can now call this equal to what? Average. So we can say
Average.
this is average. You know, so that's the what? Average. All right. All right. So I hope we are clear with that now, right?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Good. Good. Now let me show you another one again. Let's say, for example, we have D like this, right? We have D. Okay, let me just copy this one there. So equals to this. So this is what we have, right? So this is a list. Now inside this list, I want to create another one again. So 1, 2, 3. So I want to create another list again. Let me say Francis, right? I want to create Francis. Then inside here again, I want to create another one. John. So maybe I have Francis 9, 10. Now, how many brackets do we have here now? 1, 2, is it not 3? Is it not open? Is it not? If I run it like this, what can you see here? What's the error
Invalid
here?
syntax.
Meher. So what does that say? So when you hear invalid syntax, what does that mean?
So,
It doesn't follow the proper
format.
language structure, is it not?
Yeah.
So here I have 1, 2, 3, is it not? Comma, I've opened another bracket, 4, is it not? Comma, right? Then we have another one here, isn't it? Now you see, after this is another element, so we would have put a comma there, right? We would have put a comma there, is it not? So that way I tell you, perhaps we forgot a comma. Do you see that? Then how many brackets did I open? 1, 2, 3. You know, so when I'm closing, how many brackets will I close?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is this 3 down? On match parenthesis. Where am I missing? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've closed
Yeah,
one
but
here.
it's close to.
Okay, I've closed 2. Okay. So let's see. So where is it, please? 1.
You forgot to come after Francis.
Afterwards.
Francis.
Okay, after Francis, comma there, right? Okay, good. So are we seeing it now? Are we seeing this now? So this is like what now? So if I say length of D, what will it be? What's the length? 9, is it not? Say 9 characters. Where are the 9 characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it not? So there are 9 characters, is it not? So that's the length of it.
Yes.
Good. Now, if I want to extract Francis, how do I extract Francis now? I want to extract Francis. I want to extract Francis.
D3.
D what?
3.
Yeah,
D3.
D3, that's right.
D3 Francis, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, isn't it? Francis. Good. If I want to extract Okay, maybe let me add maybe, okay, let me add maybe ij here. Let me add ij. So if I'm going to extract ij, I want to get ij now. How will I get ij? I want to get ij. I want to get ij.
5.
D5.
It will be what? D what?
5.
5.
D5 like this, right?
It'll bring out both of them.
We need to. So
So now to get ij, now what will happen?
Delete John.
You what?
Can you delete John?
comma
Okay,
1.
so after I've got ij, now go back and delete John. You know, when we are doing these things, it's not that it will not work, but is it efficient? Now imagine your data was about 1 million rows. That means I'll first go and waste time to first extract that 1 million. Then later I'll now start deleting whatever I need to delete. So sometimes it will not be efficient that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It still work. So what can we now do now? So we want to now extract ij now from this.
Split. How you
Delete.
split?
Can you use what? Split?
No,
Split will only separate them into two
we
now.
only separate it into 2.
Well, it's the same list now, but we want to separate it into 2. So you see, this is like a list. Is it not a list?
Yes.
Inside a list. It's just like in Excel, you have an if function inside another if function. What do we call that?
Nested if.
Nested if. So this is where you have a list inside a list. It's called what?
Nested list.
Nested list. So this is called a nested list. So you see, in this list now, where is ij? Where is ij in this list?
It's 1.
1. So index 1. So that's ij. Do you understand it now?
Okay.
So inside a list, you can start splitting at that level. You can start splitting at that level. Even here, for example, I can also put another, you can also put another list again inside here now. Let's say I want to put another list again. Let's say we now have 3, 4, 5, 6. I think comma will be here, right? Are we closing again? Or will it go this time? Income. So what is missing here now? I have opened here, right? Or do I need to close it here? Okay, I can close it there. So if I want to get this 6 here, how will I get this 6? This 6 here.
Zero.
Get this 6 here now. How will I get this 6?
D3.
D what?
3 and 4.
D
5.
3.
5.
No, I think it's 5, not 3.
5.
It's 5. 5, 3.
D5 3. Yeah.
D5 3. It says index list out of range.
No, 5 before the 3. Not 3
5,
before
3.
5.
Okay, 5
Yes, 3.
3. Good.
Wow.
Now, even at that, but you saw their error now, right? Out of range. What does that out of range mean?
So John IG does not have up to.
So it means that this is, where's 1? Where's the first list that you can see now? So 1, 2, so 0, 1, 2, 3, is it not?
Yes.
4. This whole one will be 5. Is it not? This whole will be 5. Which means if I say 3, 5, where is it? So 0, 1, 2, 3. Inside France is only one thing that is there, is it not?
Yes.
You have up to 5 there. So that one is telling you what? Out of range. list index out of range. Do you see that? In case you see that kind of error, it means you cannot see anything like that, okay? So it will be D53. I hope this is clear. So this is called slicing. Yeah, what? Slicing. Yeah, slicing. You are slicing. All right. All right. I hope this is okay now, right? Are we fine with this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So maybe we'll just add, maybe let me get to or maybe we'll come to dictionary later. Or let me just explain dictionary. Have I explained dictionary? Have we talked about dictionary?
He just defined it that it has a key and that's all.
Okay, it has what?
Has a key and a value.
Key. Okay, a key and a value. Okay. All right. So let's really talk about dictionary. Then we will come back again. So that is okay. So dictionary. So we have talked about lists, isn't it? So I'm sure we're okay with lists, right? We have talked about lists, and most times, right, in practice, it's either list or dictionaries you'll be working with. List or dictionaries, list or dictionaries, list or dictionary. So you see, in Python now, you are not seeing it like an Excel table. Have you been seeing any Excel tables like a table here?
No.
No, exactly.
No.
So in your normal code, it doesn't understand anything like table, right? So that's why these are now the data structure that it can understand. So we have seen a list. Now let's look at what dictionary. Now we see a dictionary has a key, is it not?
Yes.
A key and a value. A key. So let's say, for example, we talk about cars. Maybe we have different cars, right? So the key will be brands. Let's say brands, right? The value will now be like the name of the car. So let's say like Benz. You know, you can have maybe like model. Model will be the key. Is it not? Give an example of a Benz model.
G-Wagon.
One, we have maybe C300 or C400, right?
Yeah.
Then we can talk about the year, right? Let's say the year 2022, or let me put it also. Let's say 2022. So if it was a list, if we are writing it in a list, how we have written it in a list? It would have just be simply brands, Benz, is it not? These are you have written it.
Yes.
But in this case, it's specific that we want this brand to be assigned to Benz, this model to be assigned to C400, this year to be assigned to. Do you get that? So this is where a dictionary now comes in. It will have its key and its value. If you see, for example, this car now, if I want to extract Benz, how do I extract Benz now? If I want to extract Benz now, what will I do? How will I extract Benz from this car here, from this one here?
01.
It will be car what?
01.
0. Car 1.
Car 1.
Car 1.
Car 1.
That's Benz, isn't it?
Yes.
So you see the way we sliced it out. So the same way, whenever I want to slice a dictionary, I will slice it by what? The key. So it means for me to get Benz, what's the key?
0.
The key.
Oh, brand.
Brands, so it will be cars.
Brand.
Cars, what?
Brand.
That will give me a Benz. So if I want to get the year 2022, how will I slice it?
Car year.
So can you see that? So can you see where a dictionary is different from a list? Can you see that now?
But what if there were two items on that brand?
So if there are two items on that brand, so in that case, let's say, okay, let's create them now. Let's call it maybe car details. Car details. You know, so let's say, for example, brands. We have, so inside a dictionary, we can also have a list inside it. So I can now have maybe Benz, and let's say, which other one? Maybe Toyota.
BMW.
Let's say something like this, right? Let's say the model. We have maybe C400, then which other one?
E350.
Eh?
E350.
E350. Now we want to assign a second one that will go with Toyota now. Let's say Toyota.
Highlander or Camry.
Yeah. Okay, let's say Camry. Okay, Camry. Okay. Camry, isn't it? Then let's say yeah, we have one 2022. Another one will be what?
2021.
Okay, let's say 2021. 2021. Okay. So what have we seen? You see now we can have a list inside what? A dictionary. Do you see that now? This one will just say a typical this thing, but we now needed more than one variables inside this, you know. So in that case, you were not asking, assuming you want to now read Toyota now, you know, I now say brand Toyota, isn't it? So it now be cars. Cars what? How will I read it? Brand, is it not?
Brand, yes.
Now if I read car brand now, it's reading the first one for me. Right? It's reading the first one for me. So what if I say car one? What is it reading there for me?
Even you
Yeah?
under Benz, the first the letter, the
The
index.
first letter there, is it not? The first
Yes.
letter there, right?
Yes.
It's the first letter there. So which means when I'm putting them in a list like this, right? If I'm putting them in a list like this, so if I say brands, so let's look at it now. If I say brands, right? Brands. For my brands, I now have, so let me put now. So let's say I want to read Toyota now. Toyota. So how will we now read Toyota out of it now?
0, 1, 2, 3.
Eh?
4 to the end.
4 to the end.
Yeah.
4
4
to the
and 4 colon.
Toyota should just be one now.
It should just be one, right?
01.
Yeah, but when we tried it, it didn't work. No.
Okay, when we tried it,
They only gave us E. They only gave us the letter E.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
only
I'm
give
saying.
us E, right?
Let me confirm.
You only
Yes.
give us E. So let's see. Okay, so we would have said brands, right? So brand is, so in that brand, it's supposed to even give us the list, right?
Yeah,
Supposed
gives
to
us
have
the-
given us
What-
the list.
The entire list.
But you didn't use semicolon. No. Is that a thing? I mean, apostrophe.
Where?
Where you
Oh,
wrote cars brand, you use single.
Okay, no, normally single and this thing, they work the same way, will still work the same way. Brand like this, right? That okay, cars. Okay, this cars brand.
Okay, I think it's car details.
Okay, car details. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. Car details. Can you see that now?
Yes.
So it means if I want to get Toyota now, what will it be?
One.
One.
Can you see that? Now extract that
Yeah.
one. So inside the, normally with a dictionary, you slice it by the key. Is it not? But for a
Yes.
list, you slice it by what? The index number. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
A
sir.
dictionary, we slice a dictionary by what? Is key, not the index. But a list, we slice it by what? The index number. So that's the other difference between what? a list and what?
Dictionary.
A list and a dictionary.
So
So
that
you know
one, sorry, sir. The one that brought us E, what was the meaning?
the one that brought out what?
Letter E. What was that one saying?
Okay, you know, because we use cars, right? You know, remember I use cars.
Yes.
You know, cars like this, and I say, and I had done what? Brands, right?
Yes.
This is what I had done, is it not? Brand. Where was the
Yes.
brand? Which brand is this? Benz, is it
Benz.
not? So inside Benz, I now sliced by one. One means what?
E. One is
E. Zero
Alright.
is what? Zero is what?
Letter B.
B, is it not?
Yes.
One is what?
R.
One is what now? Is E now.
Oh
Yes.
yes,
Then guys,
yes.
is 0,
Yes,
1,
yes.
2. You see that? Exactly.
Yes.
If I put -1 here, it will be what?
Z.
Z, exactly.
All right.
So have
Thank
you
you.
got it now?
Yes, I have. Thank you.
So these are slicing. So you see, most time when we say you are trying to clean the data, this is part of cleaning, though. Because there are certain times you want to be extracting certain things and clean it up before we now put in a proper list. They will now convert it. So this is how normally we'll be working with unstructured data. So that's why we say that for data analysts, right? You may not necessarily disturb yourself with so much of coding, right? But the more you understand how to use this code, the better for you. Because it makes certain things very easy for you, especially when you want to clean certain things, structure and automate. It will now become very easy for you. So that's why coding is important. But we're not going into deep coding at this stage yet. As we start progressing, we now start getting much more advanced. Okay. But for now, what we are doing is to what? Lay the foundation. Okay. Lay the foundation as data what? Analyst. I hope that's clear. So we're laying it as data what? Analyst. Okay. So we have seen how to slice in what? A dictionary. We have seen how to slice a what? A list. We have seen how to slice in a dictionary. We have seen how to slice in a list. Okay. So let me go to. So we have talked about sets, isn't it? We have talked about sets, right? We have talked about sets. We have talked about tuples. At least we know when a tuple is, isn't it? So anytime I have a bracket like 1, 2, 3, 4. This one already is telling you is a what? This is a what?
One is a list.
A tuple.
What about this?
That's a set. This is a set.
This is a set.
The first
What
one is a
about
tuple.
List.
This
This
is
is a
what?
list. A list.
You see, they may all look the same, but they have different features and characteristics, isn't it? Most times we either use list or dictionary. How do you know dictionary now? Dictionary also starts with what?
Coiling.
This is what? It will
Yes.
have its what? Key, like
Key,
brand. And we have a value, isn't it?
Yes.
It will have a value, let's say Benz. So this is what? A dictionary. So a dictionary is the only one that has key and what value. Okay. So only a dictionary will have what? Key and what value. All right. So those are some of the basics we have talked about. I think we have talked about operators, comparison operators. You know, is 1 greater than 2? True or false? Is 1
False.
greater than 2?
False.
False. You know, false. Is 1 less than 2?
True.
True. You know, is 1 less than or equal to? Is 1 less than or equals to 1? Is 1 less than or equal to 1?
True.
True or false?
It's true.
It's true.
One of the conditions are met.
Is 1 greater than or equals to 1?
True.
True, is it not?
Why is
Yeah.
it true for both of them?
One of the
Check now.
conditions.
So greater than or equal to, what did we say equal to or and? What for all? What did we say for all? What happens for all?
If
And
one
what
of the
happens for
conditions are
and?
met, it's
All
true.
means you just need only one of those conditions to be true. You know, remember we talked about truth table last week, now, is it not?
Yes.
True and true is true, is it not? True and false is what? True and false is what? True and false is what?
I think false.
It's false now, is it not? For and means both must be both conditions must be met. So in this case, it's saying is 1 greater than or equal to 1? Which of does it meet? Which of them does it meet?
Is
Equals to.
is equals to.
Is equal to, say met that one, that's why it's true. Is 1 less than or equal to 1? Which condition does it meet? Which
Equals
condition
to.
does it
Equals
meet?
to again. Equals
Equal
to.
to that 1 is equals to 1. Is it true or false?
True.
True.
It's true.
It's true. And that's why we say that. So for example, if I say hello, is it the same thing as hello? True or false?
False.
False.
False, right?
False
Good.
because of the
Exactly. Because it's extremely case word sensitive.
sensitive.
Good. Let's look at another one. Is Francis the same thing as Francis? True or false?
False.
Just that space alone has changed everything. Okay? Just that space alone has changed everything. Okay. So these are the comparative operators, is it not? But if I say Francis is not equal to Francis, true or false?
True.
True or false?
True.
True. Is it not? True or false is true. So which means if I say 1 is greater than 2, right? And 4 is greater than 3. True or false?
False.
False. Is it not? False. But if I have said 2 is greater than 1 and 4 is greater than 3, true or false?
True.
Huh?
True.
True or false?
True.
True. Is it not? True. Because both conditions are what? Met.
Met.
But if I say 1 is greater than 2 or 4 is greater than 3, true or false?
True.
True or false?
True.
Because I only need one of the conditions to be met. Can you see that now? If I say 1 is equals to 1 or 2 is equals to 3 or 4 is equals to 4, 4 is same thing as 4, true or false?
True.
True.
Because I only need one to be met. But if I have it here, I say this will now be what? And true or false?
False.
Because all of them, one did not meet. But if I say 3 is equals to 3 and 4, what will it be now?
True.
True.
You know? So these are what they call logic operators. So, and you just only need one of the conditions to be met. But for your false, you need what? For your hands, for your all, you need one to be
One.
met. For your hand, you need what? Both conditions to be met, or all conditions to be met. Can you see that? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So it is based on these conditions that we now go into the logic, right? Such as if 1 is less than 2. Can you see that? If 1 is less than 2, what will happen? Print what? We can now say print what?
True.
This is true. Can you see that? This is true. Okay. But if I say 1 is greater than 2, what will happen?
They will still print this is. Oh, it will print. They won't print anything
It will not print anything. Why?
because we didn't state
Yes, that condition has not been met.
met. Yes.
That condition has not been met. So this is for if, is it not? So if
Yes.
means that once my condition is met, then what should I do?
Print.
But if I say if 1 is greater than 2, 1 is greater than 2, is it not? Then what should I do? Print what? This is true, isn't it? Now,
Yes.
if it's not true, what will happen?
This is false.
Else, that's where you now say else. Can you see that? Else, so remember, like in Excel, if this value is greater than or equals to this value, comma, that's the logic, is it not? If it's true, what should you do? Print, then comma. The next one, if it's false, what should happen?
This
should
is
not
not
happen?
true. This is
Print,
false.
print what?
This is false.
Yes. Oh, okay. Let's say, are you normal? Can you see that? So what will it show me now?
Are you no more?
Are you normal?
Exactly. Are you normal? Good. Now, so this is just two conditions, is it not? This is just two conditions. This is just two conditions. So so that's why we use the if else, if else, if else. But sometimes you may have multiple conditions. Is it not? You may have multiple conditions. So for example, I say if maybe 1 is less than 2, 1 is less than 2. If it's true, print what? This is true. Right? Now, another one again is that we have else, is it not? We have else, but if it's only two conditions, use else. But if you have three conditions, you will now use if. So it will check the first condition, if this is true. Else if, that's the next condition now. Else if, is it not? The next condition now is what? If what? 4 is maybe equals to 3, right? The same thing as 3. What should you say? Print what? Print what? Let's say not possible. Else, so the last one will now be what? Else what? Print, are you normal? Okay, so let's use 3 equals to 4 here. Let's use 4 equals to 4 here. Now, what do you think it will show us? What will it show us?
This is true.
It will show us what?
This is true.
This
This
is
is
true.
true.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that condition has been met.
That first condition was met. You know, that first condition was what? Met. But if I have a situation here where I have 1 is greater than 2, what will it show me here?
it would show not possible.
It will show
Not
me what?
possible.
Not
Yeah.
what?
Not
Possible. Is it not?
Possible.
Not what? Possible.
Possible.
If I have another situation here, it means he checked the first one. It did not meet the condition. Is it not? So he went to the next one. Oh, he met it. So you
Yes.
see, it will stop immediately where it meets the condition. So let's say he has gone to the third one and now check 3. So what will it show us in this case? What will it
Are
show
you
us?
Are you
normal?
normal?
Are you normal? Can you see that now? So if you first check line, so it means it has gone to the first one, it did not meet. It went to the second one, it did not meet. If there was a fourth condition, what will we do now? If there was a fourth condition, what will we do? It will still be what? Else, is it not? I'll still put another else again. So else, maybe I'll say okay. Let's say I will say maybe 5 is greater than 3. Let's say okay. So in this case, what should we see now? What should we see here now?
Okay.
Okay, right? So can you see that we can have multiple conditions? So as more conditions we have, else means else if. It means else if. Can you see that? You know, normally this is how we started now. Where there were just 2 conditions. If you meet the first condition, else. So remember, let's look at it in Excel. So if it was in Excel, it will be if what? The logic, is it not?
Yes.
That's logic. Then if it's true, what will happen? Right? Comma, then if false, what will happen? Is it not how we have it in Excel?
Yes.
Is it not how we have it? So in Excel, it's the same logic here. So this is the logic. So this is first the logic. If it's true, then show me this one. If it's false, that's the else. Do you see that? That's the else. So only 2 conditions. But when I have 3 conditions, so if the first condition, I want to put a second condition. You know, in Excel, if I want to put a second condition, what do? We can use what? Another if again, is it not?
Yes.
We can use another if again. So that's a nested if. I hope you are familiar with nested if in the Excel. Though. Are we familiar with nested if in Excel?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that second condition now that we are giving, so that is now the else if. Can you see that? You would have ended here, but now say no. Else if. Give another condition again. If there's another condition again, else if. So it's condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. So you can go as long as you want. So you'll be checking them one after the other. Wherever I meet it, that's where it will work. Is that clear? Who was asking that? Kolade, are you okay with this now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's else if, is it not? And if you remember again, that watch what is happening here. You see, immediately after we put if, is it not? You see, you put a semicolon there. If I don't put a semicolon there, the enemies will be at work. Right? It's already even telling you where the problem is coming, right? So without that colon, it will cause a problem. Okay, so there's a structure you must take here. So this paragraph you are seeing here, can you see this paragraph here? Like you are seeing, it's called indenting. It's called indentation. Expected and indented block after if. Do you understand this now? Do you understand what it means? Indent. What does it mean to indent?
It's like
What does it
giving
mean
a
to
paragraph.
indent? A paragraph. That's all. A paragraph. So you see, little things like this can just cause what problems for us. Okay. So if, for example, now we said, let's say we have a name here. Let's say Kolade. Is it not? We have the name Kolade, and we are now saying if name is the same thing as Francis. if the name is the same thing as Francis, you know, what will happen?
Print.
Print what?
That is my name.
Okay. That is my name, right? Or I'll just say my name is, or let me just say my name is. Now in this case, I will not want to put name there. So whatever name that is there. Now you see where variable is very important. Now if you don't meet this condition, what will happen? If you don't meet
Re-enter
this
your
condition,
name.
what will happen? Now say what? Print else what?
Else print that
Wrong name.
Yes.
Who are you?
Let's say who are you exactly?
Who are you?
Who are you? You know, so let's look at the condition. So the first thing is that what? We have put in a variable, is it not colored? Is it not? What do you want to now do? What do you want to now do?
I want to check.
We want to compare, is it not?
Yes.
This name that you have put here, is it the same thing with what I have saved before? Is it not? If it's true, then print that name for me. Is it not? But if it's false, then tell me who are you, isn't it? So you see, who are you? Because they are not the same. But if I say that name is not equals to Kolade, or name not equal to Francis, what will it show me?
My name
That
is
my name is
My
what?
name is Kolade.
Kolade. Can you
Kolade.
see that? My name is what? Kolade. Is it not? My name is what? Kolade. Can you see that? You know, last week we had done like that password. You know how we did that password, right? Where you
Yeah.
put your username, you put your password. So it's the same logic, right? Only I just wanted, so just for example, we say name. We now say what? Input, is it not? Enter your name. Is it not? Enter your name. Okay, enter your name, right? Then we can now say grade. We can now say what? We can now say impute what? Enter your score. Or let's call it score here. Let's call this one. Should we call it score of? Okay, let me just leave. Let's leave grade. Let's leave it as grade, right? Now we want to check here. Sorry, grades. Grades. Now I want to check here if you scored. You know how we have the rule, eh? So normally pass mark is 50, you know. So let's say between 50 to 60, 59 will be what? 50 to 59 will be a C, now, is it not?
Yes.
60 to 69 will be what? A B.
B.
B, this is a B, is it not? Then let's say above 70 will be what? An A, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Less than 50 will be what?
F.
Less than 50 will be what? Fail, is it
F.
not?
F.
Will be failed. So do you understand this now? So if we have entered your name, you enter your score, it should tell you your grade. Do you understand that? In Excel, what we have done to do this in Excel? How we have done this in
if
Excel?
statement.
If.
If
If.
we know, we would have used a nested if, you know.
If. Yes.
If, you know, that's how we would have done it, right? So
Yes.
it means that if what now?
If Grade.
If your grade, is it not? If your grade, that grade you entered, is it not?
Yes.
Is greater than or equals to what now? Let's start with the highest, then from there to the last.
Okay, greater or equals to 70.
70.
Greater than or equals to 70, is it not?
Yes.
Is it not? Greater than or equals to what? 70. Then what will happen?
Print A.
Print A.
Print A.
A.
Print what? A.
A.
Print what? A. All right. What again?
Else if.
Else if, is it not?
Else
Because there's
if.
another condition now. Else if. Else
Yeah.
if what?
Your grade.
Your grade is greater than or equals to what? 60. Is it
Yes.
not? What do we now do? Print B. Is it not? Again, what again? Else
Else
if what? Grade is greater than or equals to what? 50. What should happen? Print what?
C.
C. What again?
Else
Else what?
grade.
Else print what?
Yeah.
Print what? Failed, is it not? Then we want it in such a way that whenever you get the result, tell me that this your name, whatever name you put, your grade is, then you tell me the grade. So what do we do there? We say print what? Print what? Name, is it not?
Yes.
Your grade is what? Your
Grade.
grade is what?
Grade.
Grades. So everybody look at this now. Do we understand every line now? What has been done? Do you understand every line? What has been done now? Now with this work for us? If we run it?
Yes.
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 Okay, let's try. So enter your name. Kolade. What's your score?
80.
80.
Phew, 50.
That's a
So what
problem.
did he say?
So let's just try 50.
What
Not
did he say?
supported instance. Oh, string and
So why is that so?
string and integer.
So what does it mean?
Oh.
What does it mean now? So why did this error come up? Why did this error come up? We did it last week now, right? Why did this error come up?
Equals to not supported. Wait, so we can't compare. We can't
cannot
do
compare what?
a string and an integer.
And an integer, is it not? Because remember, whatever you
Yes.
put inside an input will turn out to be what? A string.
String, yes.
And you are comparing with an integer. So what do we do in this case?
You convert it back.
Convert.
Convert it, is it not? So either we are using a float or an integer. So let's use a float. You know why you want to use a float?
Some scores
Because
might
of
be
the
tested.
scores.
Because sometimes your scores can be maybe 50.5
In decimals, yes.
in decimal, right? So let's try again. So Kolade is called 80. So Kolade, your grade is what? 80. But we want it to give us what? We want it to give us what? So this is your score, right? But this is your score. But we want it to give us grades. Right? So it says your grade is.
I think give us the grade.
He still gave it to us, so he still gave it to us, right?
Boss, but we arranged it. No.
Yeah, but the way it arranged it. So let's see. Is the way it arranged it. So your grade is okay. Is that score that it puts here? Okay. Is the way we gave it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The way we had put it here. Okay, I see. So Kolade, right? Let's say he scored 89.3. So you say, okay, give it as A. Is it not? Give it as A. So Kolade, your grade. Okay, let's say, so your grade is A. So how do we want to now assign it?
Assign.
Unless what we can now do, we'll now start complicating it. We now want to append it, that result, into another variable. They show me that variable. But I don't want to get to that level where we start appending inside this. But let's just understand how it works, right? Let's understand how it works. So instead of doing this, we'll just say let's say your score, or just say Kolade, you passed. You know, you passed. Hey, okay, let's just say your score is, so that we don't, let's just say that your grade is this, that's fine. So if, for example, we now got, so let's run it again. What did I not close? Okay. So let's say Francis, your grade was 20.5 or 30.5. What happened? Okay, float. So Francis, 30.5. So I should get what? An F. Is it not? I should get an F. So Francis, your grade is, okay, let's say grades. So Francis, 30.5. Your grade is 30. Okay. But you see, in programming, you see how the logic works. As long as you want to still keep adding more conditions to it, you can keep doing and doing and doing till you get whatever you need. So that's one good thing about learning about programming. It is very flexible. Very I hope we are clear with these if conditions. Because when we are coming to do data cleaning, it's very important too. Very important when you are doing data cleaning. Okay. So I think we can stop it here. So that when we come next week, we'll continue from here. Unless we have any other questions, then we can sort that out. But if no, I think we can end it here. All right. No questions?
No, sir.
No, all right. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
sir.
So see you next week.